Okay, YouTube. I'm just having all type of difficulties right now. Somebody don't want me to make this video, but it's gonna happen. All right, so this is what I have. I have my gravy, my sweet peas, my potatoes, my chicken thighs are the best because they have the most flavor. They're just awesome. So chicken thighs is what I use. My seasonings, season all, onion powder, black pepper, garlic powder, flour, because you can't fry anything without flour. And I always wear gloves when I'm handling the raw meat. So I have my gloves. Okay, let's get started. And I am back. Okay, so I have my skillet. Making sure that all of the water is evaporated out before I put any oil in there. I always let the skillet get hot to make sure that there's no water. You don't want any water because that will cause a lot of popping. If anybody's fried chicken or anything, you know about the popping. So we're gonna pour. I don't really measure, so I don't know how much this is. Maybe 2.5 cups, something like that. I'm not real sure. I think maybe it is probably 3 cups. Let's say 3 cups. Okay, I got that going. Also off camera, I cleaned my washed my chicken, and I've also seasoned it. Basically, when you're seasoning it, you want to evenly on both sides coat your chicken, not too much, you know, just sprinkle it evenly on both sides on each piece, I should say. And what I also do, and I don't know if a lot of people do this, but what I do is my flour, I also put seasoning in that. I haven't mixed it up because I wanted you guys to see it. In there, I have the seasoning that I showed you earlier, which is the onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and the season salt. That's in there with the flour. So let's mix that flour up. This is not yet hot. The way you test to see if your grease is hot enough, if you take a little pinch of flour, just pinch a little bit, and then drop it in there. You see it's not really done yet. The skillet is hot. Now we're waiting for the grease to get hot. So I'll continue to mix this. Make sure that it's evenly. Yeah, so we're just waiting for that grease to get hot there. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm making noise back here. I'm grabbing a baking pan. This is where I'm gonna put my chicken in once it's done frying, because I would need the frying pan again, so I have to remove all the excuse me. Once I get the chicken started frying, then I'm gonna peel my potatoes to make mashed potatoes. A lot of people do this differently. Some people would put the potatoes in the water and let them cook and then let them cool and then pull the skin off. I don't do that because that just seems you know, the potato is dirty on the outside. And so I'll peel the skin off. There's nothing wrong with eating the skin. There's nothing wrong with it, but just make sure you take a brush and clean it really good so you're not eating any bacteria or anything that might be on the outside of the skin of the potato. So just make sure that you want to brush it really good, and then you can eat the whole thing. There's nothing wrong with eating it. But for this dish, we're having mashed potatoes, and I will be cutting the peel from the potato and then boiling them. So I'll pause it here. I'll come back when, you know, my grease is hot, because it's not yet hot enough. Oh, I guess it's getting there. Did you hear that little sizzle? Are you guys able to hear it? Let's see. No? Here, let me try to turn this up some. Okay, it won't let me turn it up, but there's a little sizzle on it. Yeah, it's a tiny sizzle. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I'm going to pause it here, and then I'll come back. I'm back. Okay. Let's test that out now. You guys should be able to hear that little sizzle now. So I'm going to start getting this chicken put in here. You don't want to crowd it. Crowd the skillet, because you want everything to cook evenly. And so right now I believe there's 8 pieces of chicken, and I'll cook 4 at a time. So I'll be frying chicken twice in this skillet. So from here on out, I use my handy dandy tongs now to touch the meat. I won't use my hands. So let me do this like that. So what I do is I'll grab a piece of chicken. You guys see that? Got my piece of chicken. If this is a healthy meal you're making, feel free to take the skin off, but there's nothing like some fried chicken skin. So we keeping the skin on for this recipe. All right. I'll place it down in my flour. I coat both sides, kind of like this. I just get it all coated. It's messy. If you make a mess, that's okay. Just clean it up after you're done. Make sure you use some type of cleaning agent, because you don't want any bacteria left on your stove or on your counters or anything like that. So this is what I do. Normally, if I'm cooking a lot of chicken, say if the family comes over and we're gonna have some food, some chicken, and we're gonna cook it in the big pot, like outside on the propane, I'll get a paper bag, and put the chicken in that and use gloves. But this is just, you know, for me, my daughter, and my grandson. So I always start with skin side down. So I go in very slowly. And you're going to get some poppage, but it's okay. Okay, I'm just going to add my other pieces. Just keep going here. As you can see, it's already getting that golden brown. We want to cook it just a little bit al dente, because it's going to be smothering in the gravy as well. So you don't want it like to cook it 100% frying it, because it's going to be sitting in the gravy. And sitting in there, it will cook more. Adding my second piece. Go very slowly. Position it the way you want it, and then we leave it. It looks like there's some big chicken, so I'm gonna only be able to do 3 pieces in the skillet, which is okay. There's no race. But I do know one thing, it is really popping, so good thing y'all out there and not in here. But if you can't stand to get popped, you shouldn't be cooking. At least not frying anything anyway. Okay, let's turn that over. This can come over there. Okay. I'm going to turn this one over. Woo. I fry it for maybe 10 minutes on each side. And then I will flip it over an additional couple of minutes on each side. I don't know. It's to your liking. Basically, we are going to be smothering this, and it will continue to cook inside that gravy. So I'm not too concerned. I just want the skin to be very crispy. And it will be cooked like on the outside, but the inside will cook once it smothers in that gravy. The inside will cook. So it looks like I'm gonna probably not be able to smother all these in this skillet here because it's too small. So I'm going to use my baking pan, and I'm gonna smother them in the oven because you can also do that. Smother them in the oven. So I'll be showing you that. I'll show you on the skillet, as well as I'll show you how to smother it in the oven. You can also fry the chicken in the oven. That'll be a different episode. I'll show you how to cook oven fried chicken, and it is the bomb. And no one will know that it was did in the oven. I'll show you. That'll be another episode that I will show you guys. But right now, this is gonna cook along. I'm gonna just turn them over. I'm gonna push pause here and fry up the rest of this chicken, and then we'll finish assembling our meal. All right. peeling my potatoes over here. You guys can't see me. We'll move off of the chicken that is frying away. Peel the skin off, and I slice it down the middle, and then I cube it like so. Can you guys see me? Or you want to make sure you have a good knife. Okay, let me move that. One thing I hate about frying chicken is the smell. Like, you go outside and people are like, did you fry some chicken? It's the smell. You cannot get away from the smell. I hope you can hear. Maybe I'll turn these off for a little bit. I'm sorry, I put the fans on to try to suck up some of the odor. It doesn't always work. Okay, let me turn over my chicken. I have one more piece left that needs to be fried after these 4. But I want to get these potatoes on. And then we're going to start smothering them. Everybody thinks that it's hard. It's not hard. It is time consuming. But you know, you want to put out the best meal you can for your family because you love them. And so love takes time. So just think of it that way. It's very time consuming, but when you see your family actually enjoying the meal that you prepared, at least for me, it makes me feel, you know, real good to see them enjoying your food. Of course, you're gonna have some people. I'm gonna call them out right here on this tutorial. My brother, he will eat 4 and 5 plates and still talk about it. Like, he doesn't care. He will, but that's just his way. That's just what he does. Everybody knows that he is going to be talking about it and still eating. I mean, really eating. Chopping. He's going to be eating. Anybody that don't know what chopping is, that means like almost, you're like slobbering all over the food. He's eating so fast. And he's gonna kill me for putting that on there. But you know, I don't really care because I'm calling him out. Because one of these times I want to do a like a family dinner, like a I don't know, like a potluck, and film me making what I'm gonna present to the potluck, and then us just sitting around eating. It's almost gonna be like a family style mukbang where we're gonna be talking about what I mean. When we get together, guys, is no telling what's gonna come out. There's gonna be some swear words, but it's okay. We're all family. You know, we're not judged. We don't judge. God knows our heart. So I just ask that when we do come together, you know, there might be some stuff that people are not gonna like. You know, we might swear too much or something, but just all I say is just don't judge my family. Because a lot of people that's on the outside looking in on my family, they're like, oh my God, you guys are so close. Oh my God, you guys, you have get-togethers. They always say, I wish I can do that with my family. They always say that. Smells really good in here, guys. Woo. Nice and firm and brown and juicy. And then you're going to make it even more juicier when you smother it in that gravy. I'm telling you, can't resist it. Okay. Put that there. Let's get our last piece of chicken here and fry that up. Skin side down first, guys. That's the way it's done. You want to make sure that that skin is super crispy. Whoops. Now I'll remove this. I never save the flour. I don't think it's a good idea to save the flour because you have raw meat in there. But I will tell you this, growing up, my mother saved the flour. And you know, we turned out just fine. But I don't save the flour. I got a couple more potatoes here that I'm cutting. This is going to be a long video. They're going to be like, girl, please, you can't put that on there. So it might be a part 1, 2, 3, I don't know. But it's something that's been close to my heart that I've been wanting to do, because a lot of people, like the single people at my job and stuff like that, like, oh, I wish I could cook like that, because they're bringing, you know, noodles to work and I'm bringing meals, and it's not that hard. I mean, it does take time, but I think I'm gonna save this one potato. It's big enough for just me. I can make me a a baked potato with something when it's just me. So I'm gonna save that one potato. Now we're gonna have to wash these, wash them really good. You see how dirty they are? Oh, you can't see it. There we go. They're really dirty. So I'm gonna take them over here and wash them really good. You want to make sure you wash them thoroughly, just to make sure that you're not putting any contaminants in your mouth. So what I do first, I wash my hands. And then I'll run this under water and go through it. Now, if you hear any noise in the background, that's my grandson. He had to stay home from school today because he wasn't feeling well. So,
where's your study?
She's down at the skillet. That's my daughter.
But it's not looking at the skillet.
No, it's looking at this skillet right now. So, yeah. So my daughter's here, and she want to see if I'm doing it right, I guess. But anyway, I've already fried the chicken. I got this last piece, so now we've moved to the potatoes. Oh. I washed them thoroughly. So now I'm going to get them boiling. This stuff in here is golden. Never leave home without it. I use this instead of water. It's more flavor. Just pour that in there. Yep. You see, it's just barely above the potatoes. It's the same thing that you do with the water. Okay, I'll see you guys later. You don't want to have a whole lot of water. You just want enough to cover the potatoes. And also what I do, and I don't think that other people do this, but I, let me turn this piece of chicken. Okay, get that turned over. Okay. I also add a stick of butter to my, when it's boiling, I do that. It makes it so much creamier when you're smashing it, I tell you. Okay, so let me get the butter. Here's the butter. Put that in there. Let's turn this thing on. Okay, I got that going. That's gonna heat up. This skillet here, this pot here is gonna be for our green beans. Remember, we're having green beans. And I'm gonna open those right now. Let me move this over here. Okay. Open those green beans. I keep saying green beans. I'm sorry, you guys. It's not green beans. These are sweet peas. These are sweet peas. I keep saying green beans. Sweet peas. I was in the store debating green beans or sweet peas. When I add the first can, I let it cook in its own juices. You see all that water that comes out? I let it cook in its own juices. I don't pour. A lot of people will pour the water out and then re-add water. I don't do that. I let it cook in its own little juices. Now, look at what I did to the can opener. There we go. Flour all on the pan. Okay. Okay. Got that going. Open up this back door here. Okay, let me take this piece of chicken out. Oh, let me get this. If I can get it out, there we go. Okay, I got all the chicken out. Now I need to get rid of some of this grease in here. That's way too much grease. But let me get these green beans going. So I'm going to turn that on. And all of this is done over medium heat. You don't want to rush any of it. Remember, it's all with love. I'm just going to let this just keep cooking and try to cook off some of that grease. Actually, I'm going to switch these. There, put the big pot on the big one and put this one here. Also in here, I add sugar. What do I do with the sugar? There it is. This is sugar. I'm gonna have to turn the fan on. Guys, just one of them. I hope you guys can still hear me, but I have to turn the fan on. So I put sugar, that's maybe a tablespoon of sugar. And salt and pepper. Just a tiny little salt and pepper. And what's that gonna do? That brings out the flavor. So just tiny bit of pepper I put in there. If it comes out, this thing is very tricky. Okay. I got 2 cans of peas. I think I might have to add another little bit of sugar here. If you are someone that's health conscious and watching watching your calories and stuff like that, feel free. You can use Splenda in here, and I'm gonna remove this because it's smoking a lot, so I'm gonna remove that off the heat. I'll bring it over here. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit because I gotta pour it out, the grease. So I'll just sit that there and let it cool off. So I'm gonna turn this eye off. I had some stuff on that eye before and now it's just burning off. And it's choking me. And it's probably gonna set off the fire alarm, but we're okay. Okay, I got that going. I got this going.